If you're playing fantasy football on ESPN, I'm going to help you crush your drafts with the best picks to make in the first 10 rounds. I've got all the stats, all the reasoning to prove to you why these are the best selections to help you win. We'll go round by round looking at the best picks in rounds 1 to 10. Let's go. Round 1, Breece Hall available at pick 4. Despite playing with an absolute miserable set of quarterbacks and a horrible offensive line, not to mention coming off an ACL injury, Breece Hall led all running backs last year with 93 targets and was second in receptions with 74. Hall finished with only 8 touchdowns, which was tied for 17th most at the position. 36 other running backs had more attempts inside the red zone than Hall did because the Jets were so inept at even getting down there to the end zone. With Aaron Rodgers and an improved offensive line, there's a great chance for Breece Hall to be the RB1 overall this year. Round 2, Derrick Henry, available pick 16. Henry has faced 120 more 8-man boxes than the next nearest running back over the last 3 years. And while in Tennessee, it was easy for defenses to clamp down on Derrick Henry, that isn't going to work in Baltimore because Lamar Jackson ranks first in EPA against loaded boxes. That's going to keep defenses more spread out, having to account for more players, and it's going to allow Derrick Henry to be incredibly efficient. Henry, even though he's getting older, his yards after contact is still excellent. He hasn't rushed for less than 4.2 yards per carry across any season in his career. Scored double-digit touchdowns in 6 straight years and now gets to be part of the same offense where Gus Edwards scored 13 touchdowns in 2023. While you're here, hit that subscribe button. We do DFS, Best Ball, Dynasty, Redraft. We keep you covered all year round with loads of great content and loads of great guests. Round 3, ADP of 32. It's Drake London, who got a massive upgrade at quarterback this offseason when he got Kirk Cousins, who's been the 4th most accurate quarterback over the last 10 years with a 67% completion rate. Drake London disappointed last year in the touchdown department. He only had 2, but we know he was playing with some miserable quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins is absolutely going to be an upgrade and help him go to the next level. Under Arthur Smith, the Falcons, they just didn't pass the ball enough, and when they did pass it, it wasn't accurate. Now, with a new head coach, new offensive scheme, and a much more accurate quarterback, Drake London, smash pick. Round 4, Deebo Samuel, ADP of 43. Some people out there seem to think that Deebo Samuel's a lesser player than Brandon Ayuk. And in real football terms, maybe he is. But one thing is for sure, the Niners scheme, it revolves around Deebo Samuel. There are so many weeks which are just Deebo weeks, while Ayuk's trying to win one-on-one on the outside in those low probability throws. Ayuk got there on complete insane efficiency last year. But Deebo, all reports suggest he's having his best training camp in years. He had 8 top 20 weekly finishes last year, only had 8 games below 80 yards, only failed to score a touchdown in 43% of his games. Deebo Samuel, insanely productive, and getting him here in round 4, that's just an easy pick. Round 5, Jaylen Waddle, going at pick 50 in ADP. If you've been playing best ball, you'll know that Jaylen Waddle goes on the 2-3 turn. This price is so inefficient for a player who's coming off 3 1,000-yard seasons, over 100 targets in each of his 3 years in the NFL. And the only ding on him was that last year he struggled through injuries, but he still hit 1,000 yards, still hit 100 targets. The Dolphins, they're not going to score as many rushing touchdowns this year. Do you really think Raheem Mostert's going to score 19 touchdowns again? Waddle, he only had 23 catches for 306 yards in all 3rd and 4th quarters last year because the Dolphins, they took their foot off the gas in the second half because they were completely dominating opponents in many games. This Dolphins defense, it looks primed for regression. They're going to get into more shootouts. Jaylen Waddle should be healthy, and this could be a big year for him. Round 6, James Conner with an ADP of 68. It is true that James Conner, he's only played 13 games in consecutive years, and he is 29 years old. But it's hard to ignore the fact that when he's on the field, he is a very productive running back. In 5 of Conner's 12 fantasy-relevant games last year, he finished as a top 12 RB. He finished inside the top 36 in 4 more. Conner's splits as well, with Kyler Murray on the field, were way better. Now that Kyler's healthy, this offense is going to be so much better with Marvin Harrison out there as well. It's going to spread defenses out and allow James Conner to have another great fantasy year. Round 7, Rashee Rice with an ADP of 76. The threat of suspension for Rashee Rice in 2024, it seems to have gone away completely. We've seen players getting suspended for off-field incidents, and so far Rice hasn't been one of them. The Chiefs said they haven't heard from the NFL in ages about this case. Rice averaged 17 PPR points per game from week 11 onwards. He became Patrick Mahomes' complete favorite target. This year, with Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown on the team, that's going to keep defenses downfield, open up the middle of the field so much more for Rashee Rice in there. We know he can feast, particularly in PPR formats. Rashee Rice is going to be an absolute smash pick, available in the 7th round. If you want to win some money, all you've got to do right now, just leave one comment on this video. Go and comment as many videos as you like, because every comment by a subscriber on our channel gets you entered into our summer giveaway, where we're giving away $100 in cold hard cash, a $25 merchandise voucher for our merch store, and 12 months full access to our premium content, including my weekly DFS write-up, Rich's Dynasty trade calculator, trade values, and so much more. Round 8, Christian Kirk with an ADP of 88. He might not be flashy or overly fancy, but Christian Kirk is steady, reliable, and an area of the draft where there starts to be a lot of question marks about players. Kirk, he's seen 218 targets in the last 2 years, resulting in 8 top 15 weekly finishes, along with a career-high 2.07 yards per route run in 2023. The additions of Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis have been made with the intention of stretching the field more, opening it up. Again, much like Rashee Rice, this is going to make life easier for Christian Kirk, who's been Trevor Lawrence's best friend over the last 2 years. Round 9, ADP of 104, it is Brock Bowers. I mean, there are reasons to be nervous about Brock Bowers. After all, Gardner Minshew ranked 21st in expected points added among QBs with 50-plus pass attempts, while Adrian O'Connell ranked 34th. Minshew ranked 34th in completion rate last year, with O'Connell 38th. So the QB situation is not going to be good. But Brock Bowers is an elite athlete. Michael Mayer is going to get asked to do all the dirty tight end work, and Brock Bowers is going to see the true pass catching upside. The main competition that Brock Bowers has got for targets, it's 32 years old Davante Adams. Davante Adams' production has eased off over the last couple of years, and don't be surprised if Brock Bowers has an absolute dominant finish to the year. Round 10, Jayden Daniels, ADP of 110. If Jayden Daniels was 20 pounds heavier, can you imagine how insane the hype would be for a guy who threw for 3,800 yards and 40 touchdowns in his final season at LSU, as well as rushing for 1,250 yards and 10 touchdowns? That's 11.2 rush attempts per game. If we go back over the last 2 years, there were 44 instances of a QB scoring more than 30 points in a game. And of those 44 instances, 60% of those featured a QB rushing for 5 or more attempts. Rushing upside, it just creates a nuclear level that the pocket passers, they just can't get to without throwing for 6 touchdowns or so. Jayden Daniels is a cheat code. Do not let your league mates get away with it. Those are the 10 worst picks you could make in rounds 1 to 10 on ESPN right now. We've also got the best and worst for both Yahoo. We'll also have NFL over the next week and Sleeper. Loads of content here on the channel. Hit the subscribe button because we will help you win in 2024.